everybody. That's right, man. Welcome back to episode 85 of the Bowfishing Buzz. Brought to you by AMS Bowfishing and
Megamouth Bowfishing as well.
Sponsored by
Efficiency, Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA, and Designs, Embroidery, and Leatherwork. Fantastic products by both of those companies.
Love
great,
them.
Great
Love them.
sponsors for
Absolutely.
the Bowfishing Buzz.
Absolutely. It's Brighton here again. Schmitty's got his old
podcast goggles, baby.
Schmitty's got his podcast.
Yep. I just need to leave
Goggles
them up here.
on.
That's all I'm using them for. That's all I'm using them for.
That's all you might as well use them for because they're no good for bowfishing.
Nope.
We know that. We've talked about it. So
If we've done anything for our listeners, just let it be a lesson that just because there's a high price tag on a pair of sunglasses does not mean that they're going to be fantastic. Some of them are,
yes.
but some of them aren't.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yep.
We have a heck of a podcast lined up
We
here
do,
today, man.
Schmitty.
I'm excited. Honestly,
We do,
I'm excited.
Schmitty. Who do we have coming on?
We have, you maybe have heard of him before, Ryan Devine, Team Descalin. He's had a very successful spring and summer here shooting some tournaments. Him and that team there are always on big fish, always
Yes,
representing AMS Bowfishing very well. They're members of our pro staff team. We're going to give him a call at some point here today and just kind of pick his brain, see what he knows, and maybe he'll give us some big fish secrets.
We'll
Probably
find out
not.
about that. But
yeah, we'll
we
be
can't
calling
forget
him
about
today.
his teammates. We've got Tyler Devine on there, Travis Spiceland, Sawyer York. Those guys put in the hours and the determination it does to find these fish in these big tournaments.
Yeah.
In these big tournaments because Ryan and their team has actually won back-to-back. I believe it was Alabama Muzzies and back-to-back Kentucky Muzzies.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Yeah. Yep.
Then also we've had AMS Pro Staff team on track, Lance Brantley's team.
Yep.
They finished third in the Muzzy here.
Yeah, because Ryan and them, they just won the Muzzy this past weekend? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. They weighed in 526 pounds, I believe.
Yep.
And Team On Track weighed in 392 pounds. And the big talk,
I like that.
ever since before Worlds, was the big heads.
Yep.
Everybody's talking about the big heads.
Yep.
Oh, we need to put a cap. We need to put a limit on big heads. And, I hope we don't see any big heads weighed in and stuff like that. And so, of course, in Worlds, Ryan Devine and their team, Descalin, and then, of course, Team On Track, bringing an absolute haul of big heads.
Yep.
Absolute haul of big heads. We're talking big heads over 80 pounds.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they go down to the Muzzy and come in first and third with what kind of fish, matey?
Buffs, baby.
Buffs, baby.
They are multi-species killers.
Yeah.
It's not just big heads these guys are good at hunting down. They are all around assassins.
Yeah. Yep. And if you have ever followed Team Descalin, in the tournaments years back, they shot a lot of buffs. They know how to find buffs just as well. The one year they won the Bass Pro U.S. Open with, I believe, grass carp.
Oh, yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
so grassies, buffs, big heads.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever it takes.
Bing, bang, boom.
They're finding them. Bing, bang, boom. Big fish. Doesn't matter.
Big fish in the barrel.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Something else here, Matt, just before we get into these phone calls here, we just got to talk about, how about Randy Woodward hosting the Youth World's Bowfishing Championship down in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
They're going on 20 years of getting kids out on the water, putting smiles on their faces, fish in the boat, competing.
It's amazing what they do. 20 years of the Youth Worlds.
Yeah. I think
it's doing.
It's just spectacular.
If you get a chance, go to the Youth Worlds Bowfishing Facebook page and look at some of the photos of the kids and the winners and the prizes that they win, the plaques that are made. It's special.
It's an awesome deal. It really is.
It's special. It's really neat. And these are the kind of people that we need to have in this sport.
Absolutely.
Not only that, but we need people to start following in their footsteps.
Yep.
To keep these traditions going.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I mean, Randy doesn't do it by himself. He's got a pretty good crew there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work to host these events like this, to host tournaments like this, to host, these Youth Worlds. Before the tournament, he's running a large banquet to raise money for this tournament because the plaques aren't free, The prizes, I know they have a ton of prizes. They probably buy some prizes. They have vendors come in It's a lot of work. So we need people to step up to help out with these events as well.
Yeah, and I think something too, Matt, that people don't realize. I don't realize it myself as much as I probably should, but like with these events, especially these youth events.
Yeah.
All right. So you've got all these huge tournaments, Worlds, the Muzzy Classic, the AMS Big 20, all these big tournaments for seasoned bow fishermen.
Yeah.
Okay. You're getting 80 to 100 boats of guys who live and breathe the sport.
Right.
Okay. These youth events are what is creating those teams that are shooting in those big events.
Oh, Schmitty, we have got somebody calling on the Bowfishing Buzz hotline.
I told you to make this line private.
Who could this be? Let's find out who's calling the Bowfishing Buzz. Yes, who's calling the Bowfishing Buzz?
There's Kranky.
Oh boy, Schmitty.
Oh my gosh, Kranky's
We've
back.
got Kranky the Carp is calling us back here. What's going on, Kranky?
I'll tell you what, guys. I tried calling the last 2 podcasts. The line's always so busy. You guys must be getting flooded with calls.
I think the reason is, Kranky, is because you were saying down there below where you guys listen to the Bowfishing Buzz podcast on Carpify that we moved in front of Joe Rogan.
Yeah, I think that's a huge thing to do with
Wow.
it. Yeah, I think, and Kranky...
You guys literally swam right by him. He's not even in the picture no more.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God. Kranky, that's funny because our underwater viewership over these last 3 weeks have just gone through the roof.
They have.
Up like 400%.
We must have left them in the bubbles.
You're welcome, boys.
Yes, thank you, Kranky. Thank you for that very much. So how's the water temperature down there below Kranky right now? What's the water like down by you?
I got to be honest, Matt. The last couple of weeks, it's been kind of warm. So I've been out. Last time we talked, I put the carpet down.
Yep.
And, was doing all right. But I moved up into the shallows, got a little warm, did a little surface feeding.
Okay.
Not my thing, but
No.
I had to go to the doctors.
Oh, no.
Yep. Ever since Beverly and Jessica left me, I was on the fender a little too much, and I got carpal tunnel.
Oh no,
carpal tunnel. Oh,
so now
I'm swimming in circles, man. I'm swimming in circles.
Oh,
so you better stay deep, Kranky, because you would be an easy target if you go up to surface feed right now.
2 of my buddies went the other night down there at Dexter Lake. I haven't heard back from them since. I think they got whacked.
Oh no. If there's
I'm actually the doc told me to take it easy, so I thought I found a new woman.
Oh.
New carp woman.
Oh.
That I really like. Her name's Heather.
Oh my goodness.
But I'm gonna try this long range relationship. She's in Kentucky.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
And every time I talk to you boys, them guys are just banging the smokes out of those big heads and buffs. I figured maybe they'd leave me alone down there in Kentucky. She says it's nice down there.
That's smart.
So I'm going to lock through. I'm going to try this lock and dam stuff and work my way down to Kentucky for a while.
Wow. That's
Cool.
that's quite the
smart thinking.
adventure for you.
Yeah.
You're heading down to Kentucky
to
meet up with Heather the Carp that you just found on a Fender, huh?
Fender. Oh, she's beautiful, Matt. She's got the fins that I like.
Oh, really?
But my one fin's a little sore, and this carpal tunnel is really going to be rough. But, it's straight south from Wisconsin. So I'm just going to get in the current, slow down through, work the docks and the locks and stuff, and hopefully meet up with Heather sometime next week.
Wow.
That's cool.
We wish you all the best of luck on your big journey there, Kranky. You're going to keep us informed for sure on that because...
Oh, it's going to be an adventure, man. I'm going to get a lot of intel all the way down to the Mississippi and wherever those locks take me all the way down to Kentucky.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Kranky, if there's a silver lining, I know carpal tunnel's probably not real fun to deal with, but with you're meeting this new woman, at least you don't have ecarptile dysfunction. That could be really bad.
You know what's weird? Underneath the word Heather, it said Hawk Tua.
Oh,
that's pretty
the old Hawk Tua girl. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. That's the crazy.
No, Hawk Tua Carp.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Lips, Schmitty, you know what I mean?
She's probably got a big old set of lips on her.
If you're going to get me going, I'm going to have the left and I'll get carpal tunneled up. Let's get over to this Bowfishing Buzz. I'm calling because, man, I got to tell you, I was reading up on the Muzzy Classic. Did you see the guys wearing your fancy jerseys up there on the podium, Matt?
Yeah, that's pretty sharp, isn't that? How about that, huh?
I'm impressed. Those guys never called. Lance did. He did all right. Those guys never called.
No. Well, we've actually got. We're going to be talking to Ryan Devine from Team Descalin, who just won the Muzzy Classic here. Yeah. We're going to be calling him in here in a little bit, Kranky.
Will you tell him congrats? And I'm glad I didn't see any dangone commons in that big old bag of fishies he had up there. You know what I mean?
We'll definitely tell him that. Yeah.
That's awesome. But I was really proud to see Am's jerseys right up there on that podium.
Am's jerseys.
Something to be proud of.
Yeah, that's pretty cool stuff, isn't it, Kranky? You got that right. That right. Yes, sir.
What have you guys been up to? You know, I haven't seen much on the Facebook. What are you guys up to there? Schmidt, are you doing any rod and reel fishing? Any bow fishing?
We've been doing a little bit of bow fishing here and there. I have been doing a little bit of rod and reel fishing, but it's just kind of, we're cranking away here, building mega molds left and right. We're still selling lots of product here, so we're just staying busy building all kinds of bow fishing products up here in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about that, Schmitty?
What?
I'm noticing more of them mega mounts out there. You know how I know is when I see them bow fishermen miss, I see the arrow going back past me a lot faster than the old days.
Oh, yes. That's very true. 28 inches of line per revolution. Yeah. It's very fast. That makes total sense, Kranky.
It's like watching a tennis match. Some of these guys can't hit squat. There goes the arrow back up to the boat. Back up to the boat.
They can reload pretty quick with those mega molds. Yes, they can. Yep.
I'm impressed.
You know what Schmitty's been doing also, Kranky, is he fishes with that whopper flopper or whatever bait that you're talking about with them bass. He's been catching a lot of bass.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I tell you, the whopper popper, that is the pike's worst nightmare. And from what I gather from my bass friends down at the Lily Pond, they tell me that when you see that whopper thing come, stay away. It's like me with the lights. I don't go near them. And the bass and the pike, they try to go away from them ploppers. But a lot of times they can't help themselves. But you know,
Yep. That means danger for them.
This long trip to Heather's going to get me. I can't wait to tell you all about my trip down there.
I know.
It's going to be awesome.
It'll be neat to talk about that trip because that's quite the venture you're taking. No doubt about that. That's a long journey for you.
Yeah. Mm. And there's not any bow fishing tournaments coming up, so I don't have to worry too much about that big gang of, guys and gals, kids that how'd you make out at the Ashmore thing? You guys did all right, didn't you?
Yes. Yep. We had a great time down at the Jared Ashmore. The kids had a blast. The kids on our boat shot 5 buffs and 1 silver each. We had a good time. No commons. No, we let the commons alone, Kranky. Yeah. I felt a little bad about the last one here, Jessica, or no, what was her name? What was the last one? Jessica. Yeah, I felt a little bad about Jessica.
Oh,
so
that's right.
Yeah. Yep. I felt a little bad about that.
You know what, Matt? You're back on my Christmas list. I might get your glasses back.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Nice.
So you still got the glasses then, huh?
Wearing them right now. She's perfectly fine.
Wow. Those are some nice glasses.
Jessica said I look hot in them. That's why she must have swiped right.
Yep. She swiped right for sure. Yep.
Hey, Matt, I'm going to have to get going. The dam's starting to come up, and I'm going to have to make this first block, or I'm going to be sitting around for another 3 hours.
I got you, Kranky. Yep, we don't want to hold you back here on your big adventure to head south to Kentucky for Heather the Carp. So good luck on your adventures there, Kranky, and be safe, buddy.
I'll give you a holler next time I get a little, carpal tunnel and I have to sit down and take a break.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for me to dial your number. But you tell the listeners I love them. And Schmitty.
Yes.
Watch out for that hot Suey girl out there.
All right, I'll make sure to watch out for her.
She's an internet sensation. I can see it.
She is. She's everywhere. She is everywhere.
Well, you go make algae blooms and head south and have fun, buddy.
I will do that, Matt. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
See you guys later.
We'll see you, Kranky.
Bye-bye.
Old Kranky.
How many times do I have to tell you that we need to make this line private? We cannot be having phone calls rolling in here during the podcast like this.
We will accept Kranky to call us in.
Okay, all
we'll
right.
accept Kranky to call us in.
He's always full of fish puns, for sure.
Yep,
for sure.
Yep.
back to what I was saying, man. I do want to get this in.
Talking about the youth worlds.
Yeah.
And all this.
And just how cool that is. We've got all these big tournaments. Worlds.
Right.
The AMS Big 20, the Muzzy Classic. You got all these big tournaments that have 70 to 90 boats of just seasoned bow fishing. Exactly. The Bass Pro US Open. You've got all these guys down there who live and breathe the sport. Those same teams are they were the guys on those teams, 20 years ago, depending on the age of the people shooting, they were those kids that somebody exposed to bow fishing for the first time.
Right.
And lit that flame that ignited into an absolute passion of theirs.
Yes.
That is so integral for the sport of bow fishing. It is important for the manufacturing process of bow fishing. If there weren't people that were interested in the sport and a lot of people who like to do it, manufacturers like us, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. That's such a huge aspect of it. Like I compare it to like deer hunting. If my dad wouldn't have taken me out deer hunting when I was 5 years old, that flame probably never, maybe it would have later in life, but it would have never have been as passionate as it is now.
Yes, you're right on that. It might not be as passionate as it is to you when it comes to bow hunting.
Yeah.
Bow hunting for you is a year-long.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, you're giddy about it from the time it's ready to get out in there with your tractor and start working to shed hunting in the early winter, late winter.
It's a 365 thing, know, and that bow fishing passion shines through so many of us. I just want to get that point across that these youth events, if you guys have a chance to be a part of them or to do anything with them, they are so important. They're so much more important than what people think. So that's just major hats off to Randy down there and what he does. He obviously has that vision. He knows how important this is. That's why he's been doing it for 20 years. It's just really cool. I think that's really awesome of him.
Big hats off to Randy Woodward and his crew. For doing this for the kids. The smiles that they have put on kids' face throughout all these years. Is just amazing.
It's special. He's
wonderful.
He's had his influence on so many kids over the years. That's just really special.
Yep, absolutely.
Really special. So, well, I tell you what, Matt, I think it is time for...
Can you feel the tension in the air right now?
It's time for BAA Records.
Oh, yeah. Feel the rhythm. Feeling the rhythm.
Yes.
Congrats here to Easton Burgess on his stack of youth records here. He's got a youth BAA Michigan record quillback carp sucker weighing 3.9 pounds, a long-nosed gar at 3.5 pounds, a bowfin at 7.2 pounds, a bigmouth buffalo at 11.4 pounds, and a yellow bullhead at 0.8 pounds. Also, the Michigan state record. Nice shooting to Easton.
Yes. And I think they've been on here a couple times. His dad, I think we were on here our last podcast or 2 podcasts ago, and he has the brown bullhead record. And now I see Easton has the yellow bullhead.
Yeah. I'm just, if Easton is listening or any members of his family is listening, just know that I am going to be stealing Easton's Halloween costume last year. I am going to be dressing up as what he dressed up for this year, which was he dressed up as Matthew Schillinger. Oh, yeah. But yeah, nice shooting, Easton.
And then we've also got another stack of records here by Corbin Stratton, with 4 BAA Ohio State youth records, with a long-nosed gar at 12 pounds, a goldfish at 3.6 pounds, a mere carp at 12.2 pounds, and a smallmouth buffalo at 10.4 pounds.
Wow, awesome. Nice shooting to Corbin there. Congrats to Camden Nagel with his BAA Youth Minnesota State record and Youth World record.
Wow.
Freshwater drum, weighing in at a hefty 31.05 pounds.
Very nice.
That's a tank. Nice shooting, Camden.
And rounding out this week's BAA records is Camden Johnson with his BAA Youth Tennessee Bigmouth Buffalo at 53.56 pounds.
Wow. Nice shooting, Camden. We had back-to-back Camdens there, Matt.
I know.
That's crazy.
We had back-to-back Camdens, and we had all youth records.
Wow. Kids are getting out.
How
and
cool
shooting.
is that?
That's very cool.
How cool is that?
That's very cool. I tell you what, Matt, we're gonna give a phone call over to Ryan Devine here, but first we're gonna hear a message from our sponsors. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights by Outdoor Innovations USA. A color tone adjustable and dimmable light with a unique patented reflector design that puts more light where you need it. Efficiency Bowfishing Lights offer 3 different models: the 65-watt single color economy light, the 65-watt Efficiency V2 Tricolor dimmable light for maximum efficiency and versatility, and the 130-watt Efficiency Maximus, designed to be an all-out beast of a bowfishing light. Efficiency, designed and built by bowfishermen for bowfishermen. Check them out at OutdoorInnovationsUSA.com. Are you looking to elevate your bowfishing brand with stunning design solutions? Look no further than N Designs. Their team of talented designers is dedicated to bringing your vision to life. Whether it's t-shirts, hats, leather products, eye-catching logos, to captivating boat wraps, they have you covered. Plus, with their commitment to excellence and attention to detail, you can trust that your project is in good hands. Don't settle for ordinary. Choose N Designs for extraordinary results. Visit their website today and let's bring your ideas to life. N Designs, where creativity meets excellence.
Joining us now is Ryan Devine, Team Descalin captain from Kentucky. Ryan, how are you doing on this beautiful day?
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, how you guys doing today?
We are doing great. I bet you're doing better.
I don't know, but our team had a really good weekend, and we are, we joke, and I guess there's a little truth to it. The recovery time after a big tournament like that, the recovery is a little bit quicker if you win.
Absolutely. Yes, that is so.
But it was a really great time. We had a lot of. The best teams around were there. The best teams at Bowfish in the country were there, and we were just. I always say this, and I truly mean it. We were really humbled and really honored to take that home.
That's awesome.
That's
really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of you talking about the recovery time when you do well at a tournament, Ryan. I think it was back in 2010. I was down shooting in the BAA Worlds in Kentucky, and I had never. That was my first Worlds that we had ever shot in, and I went down there with my brother and my nephew, and we ended up taking second place. So Sunday morning
really
after
good.
the weigh-ins, I was so excited and so jacked up. I drove straight home.
Holy cow.
Wow.
Yeah. Drove 10 hours back home, and I was just as giddy when I got home and talked to my parents and my wife and everything.
You were excited. Running on adrenaline.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this, Ryan. Just speaking of recovery time, do you have a teammate or multiple teammates that seem to always fall asleep on the way back to weigh-ins?
Well, sometimes we do, and sometimes that teammate is myself.
Okay.
But no, this time we are all pumped up. We knew we had a pretty good night, and we all stayed awake the whole time. And you know, when you go and you scout different waters, of course, you know, we brought multiple boats down there, and we were scouting around and trying to do our homework, and you never sleep that good, even during the day.
Right.
You know, it's a new place, and But anyway, we were exhausted for sure when we come home.
Yeah, I bet. The only reason I asked that is just because Matt is always falling asleep when we're driving back from a bowfishing trip. So,
and he may say because he's shooting all the fish is what he may say.
No.
that could be. That's true.
You don't believe a word this guy says there, right?
Come on.
I'm the one that has to drive.
I'm the one falling asleep.
Yeah,
I'll
you're the one falling
openly
asleep.
admit that.
But before we move on, Ryan, we need to give a shout out to your teammates, Tyler Devine, your brother, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Travis Spiceland and Sawyer York.
Yes.
I can't have all four of you on our podcast here, so we've got you, the captain and stuff. But we got to give a little shout out to those guys too, because those guys put in a lot of time and a lot of effort as well for your team to be successful.
We talked about it. We talked about it after the tournament. We're only successful because we're all in it together.
Right.
And you take one person away, we would not have done what we did.
Right.
And so everyone has the role. They are fantastic teammates, and I'm not just saying that generically. They are unbelievable. We mesh so good together, and that's a big reason for some of the things we've been able to accomplish.
Right. And it's almost like a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we sometimes we got to keep on oiling it, but yes, we would try to. Sometimes there's some rust and some squeaks along the way, but we got to keep on putting that WD-40 to it.
That's right, but almost everybody knows a job role. You know, everybody kind of knows a job role. When you get a fish, that's when things get a little hectic. A fish wraps around some tree branches or around a tree, and you know you got to turn around and try to get it back out and stuff, and backup shots.
Oh,
you know that's when things get a little itchy. But before that, you know, putting the boat in, I'm sure you all. Who's the person that backs the boat? And
same person, yes. Same person backs the truck in, same person gets in the boat.
Yes.
And you got your everything's in one spot in the boat. All your life jackets are one area.
Yep.
All the fire extinguisher equipment's all in one spot. The bows are in one spot. The arrows. It's just you try to be methodical as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but I think that slight details like that, being that organized, everybody has a role. I think that can honestly separate tournament teams based off of how they place, how they spend the rest of their night. If you're organized putting the boat in the water, you're going to be organized when you're shooting fish out on the water as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's all about, and we go back to it, time on the water.
Yeah.
And if you can be out there a little bit longer, if you're on the water actually fishing longer, when you're on the water instead of sorting through this and sorting through that. Now, don't get me wrong, we are not immune to things happening. Things do happen, and we can get into this here in a little bit. But we had issues along the way, the week.
Right.
We had trolling motor break on Thursday night. We had to change a tire Saturday an hour before check-in at the tournament.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, on the trailer. So we had we basically you used your spare tire right there before the tournament even started.
Jeez.
And then trolling motor breaking, and we're in an area we're not familiar with, and we have to go to the parts store and get all sorts of electrical components and take the entire trolling motor apart to try to get it to work, and hopefully it's going to last through Friday and Saturday. So we had a work cut out for us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Ryan, you put your spare on before the tournament on tournament day.
Mm-hmm.
You did not have a backup tire then after that?
We did have it. We had another tire from another person's boat.
Okay.
Because we had a couple, but different size. But it was like, well, if push comes to shove, we've got this option. We can make it work. But it's not. It's not a factory. It's not a factory off that type of trailer.
Gotcha. Okay.
Interesting.
Yep.
Interesting.
So yeah, and that's grueling through it there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So Ryan, before we move on with the Muzzy Classic, let's talk a little bit about those giant big heads and your second place finish.
How about that?
Let's hear about that a little bit.
It was that was a great tournament. That was a well-run tournament. Justin Cook did an amazing job, and company. I think Will and Christine and all of them. They all did a really good job getting that tournament put on. A great area to host it, and there was a couple of small, decent-sized big heads that was shot in that tournament.
Small, decent,
Mr. Humble over here.
80-some pounders coming in.
No, I guess that was they were big. They were giant.
There we go. We got it out of them.
They were we call them. There were some studs there. There were some studs,
no
big
doubt.
heads for sure.
No doubt. On one of the, I put you guys' pictures up on the Facebook page, and somebody commented on there, these pictures just don't do justice for the size of the fish that they brought in. Yeah.
No, you're right.
And along with that, a couple of albinos. My goodness,
that's crazy to me. That's so
I know.
cool.
They will get and it seems like sometimes when you get an albino, it's a good one. And that was, I think one of ours was 77, and then the other one was, I don't know, in the upper 50s, I believe.
Oh,
but
gosh.
no, we had a good haul. Lance had a really good haul as well. I mean, we were. It was some really good big heads that were shot that night, and a lot of stuff come together. And I know you've talked about it before, but if that was a big 20 on big heads, that you could shoot 10 or 20 big heads rather. Yeah. I don't want to speculate where it could have been. It could have been really, really, really crazy. It could have been record setting across the board.
Oh my gosh! Wow,
that's just crazy.
It's phenomenal. It's cool.
Would have loved to seen that.
Yeah.
Would have loved to seen that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, maybe we will. Maybe we will one of these days.
Right. Because what did you average on your 10 big heads, Ryan? Do you remember by chance?
Just over 67 pounds.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just awesome. That's so cool.
Good grief. Unreal. So I'm sure that you hear about all the stuff about the big heads and bull fishing and the limits. And one of the things that I saw heading into the Muzzy was, man, I hope, you know, I hate these big heads, and I hope they don't come back to weigh-ins and stuff like that there. And you guys go there, kind of known for shooting giant big heads, and you kind of take first place by shooting buffs. I mean, and a couple years ago, you guys won the U.S. Open with grass carp.
Yep.
You know, that just really shows that you guys aren't just strictly driven towards big heads.
No,
you know?
no, we're not just a big head team. We are very versatile. We try to be. We try to, you know, whatever needs to be shot to win the tournament at any given time, we are tailored to try to shoot that. Whether it be all buffalo, you know, we've been very, very, very fortunate, and I don't mean to keep saying that, but we've been able to very, very fortunate to win the Muzzy 4 different times. Wow. We've won it on buffalo. We've won it on big heads. We've won it on actually buffalo 3 different times. But anyway, back to back in Kentucky and back to back in Alabama. I call it the Grand Slam. But we're very, very fortunate, and of course, it goes back to teammates, it goes back to execution planning. Usually on the Muzzy, it's known for bad weather. We didn't have it this time, but usually when it's Kentucky and in different places, it's always the Muzzy weather's here. It's something's going to change in the middle of the night. But anyway, no, it's like I said, the U.S. Open grass carp. You're exactly right. We just that's what needed. We needed to shoot that to win the tournament.
Sure.
You know, and we scout throughout the week, and we kind of get a gauge for what kind of fish you're seeing at different places and what are they weighing at that given time of the season. What can you looking ahead, what can you shoot on that day? What's going to put yourself in the best position? Because you look at drive time, you look at what it's going to take to get back to the tournament, check in, what can you shoot quickly? You need to get your average up. Yeah, you may be able to shoot some really big grass carp, but only 5 or 6 of them. You know, how's your back end going to be? How's your bottom 5, 6, 7 fish?
Yes.
Well, it's really going to drop off. Well, maybe we should target buffalo and have a medium in the middle of the road, if you will. So there's a lot that goes into it, and we try to adapt as we go.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let me ask you, Ryan, did you guys scout at all for big heads?
Maybe.
Okay.
Oh. maybe.
How'd that say? Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
That was in.
We try to cover all our bases.
Okay. Gotcha.
And we didn't really. I guess we were a little bit naive to the chatter. I mean, I guess we're not tuned in sometimes, but apparently there was a lot of chatter, and we heard a lot of it once we got down there.
Really?
Yeah. They're like, there's just a lot of chatter, and I think a lot of folks were. I don't think they're either ready for the big heads or they're not wanting the big heads to be. I don't know. They're just, but you've got to be able to adapt and change
according to conditions.
Yeah. You do. You do. So
absolutely.
But I go back, me and my brother and even Travis and Sawyer said before, a good buffalo shoot is really hard to beat. Yeah. I mean, we shot a lot of buffalo, and it's just we had some really good buffalo. I think our biggest one was right around 36.5 maybe. Wow. But which is a good buffalo. I mean, it's hard to find that kind of buffalo on our lakes this time of year. That size. Yeah. You're just not going. You're going. Yeah. In the spawn, that's a different story. But later on in the year, you can't get a 25-pound average on our lakes hardly in July and August. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. So let me jump back pre-tournament here, Ryan. How many nights of scouting did you guys put in?
Well, our wives are going to say too much. Too many nights is what our wives and the family will say. But we were there a number of nights before.
Okay. So several nights of scouting. Were you pleased with how your scouting went leading up to the tournament day? Or were you nervous tournament day?
I mean, there's a lot of water to cover on this tournament. I mean, they've got so many different lakes that are open and beautiful countryside, by the way. I'm going to get up on a tangent. That countryside down there in Alabama and the surrounding states is beautiful.
That's cool.
So cool. And it's just a really cool venue down there, and Guntersville, kind of the center location of it all, which is like kind of bowfishing country, if you will, down there. But no, the scouting was good.
Yep.
It has its ups and downs. We all go out, we take our 3 boats out, we go and scout, and we come back, and we're talking throughout the night. We're on speakerphone, we're chatting and this and that, and on conference calls and chatting, seeing how what you seeing, what times and this and that. And there was one night, I think one of our teammates was like, I haven't seen a fish in 2 hours.
Oh.
And we're like, well, we've been on them all night.
Isn't that crazy?
So it is, and different lakes and the different times, and so you take all that into consideration, and you just try to make your best game plan. But we had a decent scouting throughout the week.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that tournament night was not better. It was not the best, probably. We had, I think, usually the Friday night scout's usually the best,
Yeah.
it seems like. But Thursday night was pretty good. Friday was good, and Saturday plan come together. But as with any tournament, you have to have backup plans, and we had to use a couple different ones.
Sure.
You scout all week, and you don't see anyone in certain bays.
Yep.
And then on tournament night, you're like, where did they come from? Where were they all week?
Right.
Did they Google Earth it and just drop a pin and say, that looks like a really good bay, I'm going to try that out?
Yep. Right.
And it's like, what?
Yep.
I was like, okay, well, that one's shot. We got to go to the next plan. That was our good bay. I'm like, well, I realized that was our good bay, but we're going to find another one.
Wow.
Let's go to this next one.
And you know what's funny about that, Ryan, you saying that is, and that might not even been a tournament shooter. That might have been a local out there.
Yeah, you're right.
You know,
Yeah.
That happened to us in the Green Bay tournament here a couple years ago. We stayed on the outside edges of the weeds, and we wanted to get in deeper, but there was a boat working in deeper. Well, finally, we both put it at the same landing, and these were just a bunch of kids that were just out fun shooting. We're like,
oh my gosh,
man,
what are the odds of that?
Yeah, they weren't even in the tournament.
Yeah, they're probably thinking, wow, there's a lot of boats out tonight. Good Lord. Yeah. Yep. So, Ryan, rolling into tournament day, what was the confidence level like?
Well, the confidence level was, we knew we had a kind of a target on our back too. But confidence level was pretty good, and we knew it was going to be if nothing else, we're going to have a really fun buffalo shoot. And is it going to put us in the top 10? I hope. Top 5, it'd be great. But, as we said before, we're very competitive. I mean, we go down there, we're not there just to place. We are there to win.
Right.
Is what we want to do. We took off vacation time at work. We're away from our families. We have 8 kids between the 4 of us now.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we've got a growing family. So 8 kids between the 4 of us.
Oh.
And so they're calling us, they're, how you doing, Dad? This and that. We're talking to all the kids and this and that. And, so they're wanting us home. But we're pretty confident, going into it. I mean, but not overly. We never overconfident whatsoever.
Yep. I want to know, Ryan, how did the night start out? Because it's like you can always gauge kind of how the night's going to start out when you get to your spot. There's no other boats around. It's finally dark. You got the lights on and stuff. You're seeing the fish.
Yep. Our first stretch, we was able to put some fish in the boat.
Nice.
And it was like, it was good. Then we got to our next spot, and not as good as it was previous 2 nights. But then our third spot was really be able to put the fish in the boat.
Nice.
We had a couple doubles, as we call them, 2 fish, bam, and we got two on the line. And one, I think both of them actually, one was 31 pounds, one was 33. And I was like, wow,
nice.
Great.
That's awesome.
We really going into a tournament, and you guys the same way, based on your scouting throughout the week, you have in your head an average of what you want to be. If you can be at a 24, our average in my head anyway, I was hoping for a 25-pound average. If we can get a 24, 25-pound average, because we knew what it took to win the Muzzy last year. Last year we had 480, 470 something. Maybe it's 470. 470 was what we had, which is just under 25-pound average.
Right.
So I was like, man, if we can get close to that 500-pound mark, I said, I know we can get beat. I mean, there were some great teams down there, great airboat teams. A lot of them, some good friends of ours, really good friends, and we've become really close. Shoot out of airboats, and they can really put a hurting on buffalo and grass carp. Yep. And so we knew they were going to be on some good fish. Now we try to get away from other boats. If you can get away from other boats, get away from that pressure, it's just going to be so much better. It's better for your morale. Team morale doesn't take a dive whenever you got a bunch of boats around you and they're shooting fish and they're in your next spot and this and that. So, but like I say, we were trying to get close to a 500-pound average, and we were able to get that.
Yeah, you were just one fish above that.
Yeah,
yeah, we were 26 pounds. Oh yeah, they were five. We weighed in 526.
Right,
so.
right.
Cool. So Ryan, you guys had you shot the fish that you wanted to while you were out shooting. This is obviously a big tournament. You guys have put a lot of time in, a lot of money in. What was the aura like in the truck driving back to weigh-ins? What was going through your guys' head?
Man, it was. We were happy with how the night went, and we were talking back about, hey, man, guys, we shot really good tonight. There's really wasn't a fish out there that we really wanted back. There was one that was able to get away, but was able to make up for it with another one. So, we shot good. We were happy with what we was able to get. Yeah, we were hoping for a couple more fish, more in the 30s, that we weren't able to just find that night. And probably it was boat pressure in certain areas. But we were, I guess you would say, we were optimistic.
Yeah.
Not overly confident. We were just optimistic we had a good night.
Yeah.
Really wanted to get into that top 5. I think they were paying out top 3 as far as cash goes. But again, we really liked it. I really wanted to win. That it would been neat it was going to be neat to go back to back on a foreign body of water out of our home state, 2 states away.
Yeah.
On different lakes. It was just going to be really cool if we could do that.
That's neat. Were you getting any phone calls on your drive back? Because I know that's usually how it was back when I was shooting tournaments.
Yeah, we got a couple. And and it was and we try to shoot people straight and hope they shoot us straight too, because I think we said we've weighed all our fish or most of them, and we're looking at around a 500-pound average, or 500 pounds total, 25-pound average. So. Anyway, it was, we only heard from a couple people, and I'm like, oof, there's 100 teams. I think it ended up being 97 teams. There's 97 teams in this tournament.
Wow.
There's a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a fun ride back, and then the ride even home was a little bit sweeter.
Absolutely. That's cool. Because I was watching, on Sunday morning, I was watching Facebook Live at the weigh-ins down there. And I saw you guys in the Onyx spot or something like that they had.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think they were talking to Travis, I believe. And
I think they talked to Travis one time, and then maybe Sawyer the next time.
Okay, and one of them, they asked one of them, hey, a lot of guys had a rough night last night. They didn't see a lot of fish, and how'd you guys do? And he was like, we were in fish all night long.
I know, I did. I think it was Sawyer, and he was smiling,
Okay, it was Sawyer. Okay.
So yeah, we joked and said, "Hey, you're trending on Reels or Instagram or something right now. You're trending. You're Mr. Optimistic right now." So
yeah, that was pretty cool. I thought, we were in fish all night long.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a sign of a good night right there.
Absolutely.
Answer like that.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Absolutely. So, what's up next for Team Descalin, Ryan? What's tournament wise? Or are you taking a break?
We are going to be gearing up for the Cajun 8.
Gotcha. When is that one, Ryan?
That's in August.
Okay.
Maybe take a little break here. Might get out there, do a little fun shooting. Maybe take the kids out there, try to get into some fish. And, I think we'll hopefully try to bring some of them big heads back to the Cajun.
Absolutely. I'd love to see them again. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Ryan, I got 2 more questions for you. First one here.
Yeah.
I'm curious, just for our listeners, what kind of AMS products are you guys using?
So the TNT reels, it's a must for us. We use them. We have backups in the boat just in case the but I'm still using the same one from like 3 years ago.
Wow.
I put a little WD-40 on the cranking reel this past week, and it's the same one. I just change the line out every so often, and it's bulletproof.
That's awesome. That's very cool.
The reel is awesome. The new Ringo bows. You guys got a hit on your hands there.
Cool. Awesome.
They are really, really good.
I know they do pack a punch.
Yes, they do.
Yeah. They do. Yeah, and in a small little package.
Right.
Short cam to cam and nice let off, and it goes up to 70 pounds. So,
right. You crank her up.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Well, those big heads, you got to have some poundage.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, Ryan? Like when you're shooting those giant big heads and stuff, do you guys use that long bottle with more line, or you just stay with the standard size bottles?
No, we stay with the standard size bottle.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I know some guys will put on the bigger bottles. I put the bigger bottle in when I go out and shoot the stingrays with Corey. A lot of times I let them run a little bit longer, and I actually had one spoon me last year where it popped.
Oh, wow.
I was at the end of I was holding my bow as hard as I could to keep that from my hands.
Yep.
But I was just curious if you guys shot the large bottles or the smaller bottles on that.
No, we typically keep smaller bottles on, and one of the things we always do on tournament day is people always say, "Do you not have time to do that some other time?" So they always see us when we're putting new line on our boats.
Yes.
And that's just almost like a tradition on tournament day. We reline, and that's another thing. We have different color lines for different people on the boat. It helps us get untangled a little bit easier. So 2 people are shooting orange, 2 people are shooting yellow, and so it's just a little tidbit for listeners out
Absolutely.
there.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Cool. Second question for you here, Ryan. We're gonna get a little bit deep on this one. All right.
Okay.
Let's pretend Ryan Devine is 16 years old. Okay. This Ryan Devine hasn't won back-to-back Muzzy Classics in 2 different locations. He hasn't shot all these big fish, placed highly in these tournaments. What would current day Ryan Devine, if he had to give one piece of advice to a young 16-year-old Ryan Devine, what would that piece of advice be?
Invest in Amazon stock. No, I'm kidding. It would be to stick with it. I started, very, very young. My brother and I started with recurve bows on literally a coffee can screwed to the stabilizer port on a recurve with some string.
Wow.
And as redneck as it sounds, wading in the backwater in Slade Creek, wading in the backwater behind our grandparents' house, shooting fish, shooting spawning commons in buffalo. Anyway, fast forward. I guess I would say to just stick with it, stay on the water, scout. Find good teammates that share the passion that you do, and we've been very, very. I think in my personal opinion, we have the best teammates. We do anything for each other, and we get along so well.
That's awesome.
And now I guess to say stick with it and don't be afraid to change. You got to be able to adapt. You see how crappie fishing and bass fishing has changed.
Oh yeah.
Over the past 10 years, and bowfishing's done the same thing. We've been able to see it change. Been shooting tournaments since 2009, it's been neat to see. And we've talked about how bowfishing has. We were talking about this actually on the way down to the Muzzy. My brother and I were talking about how bowfishing has taken us places that we never would have gone otherwise.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? We've been able to see, going out to the U.S. Open, going out there and seeing the countryside out there and scouting all those lakes out there and seeing just the locals and going to local gas stations and talk to people, and they see our boats and they start asking questions.
Yeah.
And then going down to the Muzzy and then stopping along different areas and then going up to Evansville. And we shot all throughout Tennessee. We shot Ohio, Arkansas. We shot a lot of different places. And it just, if you didn't bow fish, you probably wouldn't go to some of these places.
Right.
Exactly. But now that we have, I want to take my family back to some of these places. Hey, there's a hidden gem down here in Alabama. I would love to take you guys to.
Right.
We can get a little cabin, stay on this little lake. It's beautiful. So there's a lot of positives that come out of it.
Absolutely.
That's
really
awesome.
Cool.
That's a great answer. Cool. Keep grinding.
Keep grinding.
Yep.
Keep grinding.
Awesome.
All right, Ryan. Well, I'm going to let you get back to work. We appreciate you taking the time to join us here on the Bowfishing Buzz and talk about your big win at the Muzzy, second at the Worlds. Coming up in August, we've got the Cajun 8 that we wish you all the best of luck in, and your teammates be safe down there. And good luck scouting. And we look forward to seeing the results from the Cajun 8 in August from you guys.
Fantastic. Hey, thanks for inviting me on. Appreciate all you guys do for the sport, and keep up the good work.
All right. Well, you take care, Ryan, and thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, guys.
Right, bye-bye.
Some awesome insight there from Ryan.
Yep.
He's been all over the place, like you just said, all those different states. That's really cool. That's really cool. And I think something, whenever we talk to these guys, Matt, something that a lot of guys they're so avid about is their team. Yeah. A team is a team. There's no I in team, man. Right. You got to keep that team together if you can. That is so important for tournament success, especially.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. So I tell you what, Matt, it's time for your special segment. Let's hit that button. There it is.
Get ready for Fish That You Wish.
Man. That's right, folks. This week's Fish You Wish comes to us out of a state that thinks the Dallas Cowboys are America's team. I'm talking Texas, folks. This fish shot by Jacob Fisher on March 19th, 2022, with a length of 63.5 inches and a girth of 27 inches. This long-nosed gar weighed in at a whopping 56 pounds, 3.2 ounces.
And that is a fish you wish you shot. Oh my gosh, is that gar got some girth? That is a girthy gar right there.
63 inches.
That's insane. I love that you included the girth measurement. That's insane. Think of that, 27 inches? Holy cow.
That is a tank of a long nose.
That is spectacular. That's awesome. I love these little segments. I don't ever look at them or see them, so everyone just blows my mind. Just blows me away. That's cool.
Oh, good stuff there. Well, Schmitty?
You know what that means. Wrapping it up again.
Wrapping up episode 83 of the Bowfishing Buzz.
85, you crazy.
Oh my goodness gracious.
They're flying by, man.
85, episode 85, folks. 6 years of the Bowfishing Buzz from us here.
Oh my goodness.
We hope you enjoy them. We hope you like them. We hope you love bowfishing. Oh my goodness. We hope you all have a wonderful and a safe, happy 4th of July.
Yes, absolutely. Have fun out there. Be safe.
It's a time
Celebrate
to enjoy being with friends and family.
Yep.
Have a few cocktails, but be safe, man. Be safe. From all of us here at AMS Bowfishing and
Megamouth Bowfishing as well as our sponsors, End Designs, Efficiency Lights.
Yes, sir. We wish you the best of luck. And remember, aim low,
think big. Thanks for listening, guys.